This is a quick woodshop tip on setting the proper depth of a dado. Hi, I'm Paulk, and this is a smart woodshop. If you'd like to get a set of plans to build yourself a smart woodshop or one of my workbenches, link in the description of the video down below. I get a lot of emails and a lot of questions that ask about routers, router cutting with bushings, and with patterns. I'll probably do a more in-depth video and really dig into that in the future. But basically, a pattern is any shape. It's an edge that a bushing, that's the guide that you can mount to any router, follows. And then the cutter is inside of that. In my case, I'm using a 1/2-inch upcut solid carbide spiral bit. That is my go-to bit whenever it's appropriate for the job. I've got this situation here where I want to cut a dado around a slot. I'm making a router table. So this is the slot that I've cut with a router and with the pattern. And then on the underside, if the camera will pick this up, I need to cut a dado from the underside around that slot so that I can recess a washer and a bolt head so that they will slide smoothly and not bump into the bench when it's mounted on top. Well, I want the depth of that 10 millimeters. I know that because of testing. It's what I need, just enough depth to take the bolt head and the washer. Slightly more, but just enough, because I want to leave enough meat on the top side for it to really bite into. So how do I get my router to cut that depth to 10 millimeters? Well, it's really quite simple. I have this, in this case, Festool plunge router, but it can be any plunge router. Plunge routers come with some kind of depth gauge. So what you do is take your router on top of your pattern and touch the bit. Just push down. You don't even have to look, you can feel it. Push down until the tip of the bit touches the material that you're cutting into. So now you've zeroed out the bit. If I cut now, I'm gonna cut no wood away. The bit is just sitting on top of the wood. And then take your depth gauge. There'll be some kind of knob on it which will let that go, and drop it all the way down to the stop. And so now I have set the depth gauge at 0. And so there'll be some kind of adjuster on your router bit. In this Festool case, I just push this tab down until it's at 0. So at 0, I'm cutting no wood. All I need to do now is lift that up until it gets to 10 millimeters. So I move it up, it's 10 millimeters. And your router bit may be in imperial, so it might say 1/8 or 1/16, but you move it up to whatever depth you want to cut. And now when I plunge, this stop will stop me right at 10 millimeters. With my router and its bushing, a simple pattern, and a depth gauge, I can get this perfect dado every time, and now I can repeat it on the other side. If you like these woodworking tips, if you find them helpful, be sure to give me a thumbs up, subscribe, and ring that bell so YouTube will let you know when I put up a new video. Thanks for dropping into the Smart Woodshop. You stay safe and have a great day.